This video is going to be a little bit different. Usually I'm just ripping it, right? Like straight mindset, straight getting to work, straight doing everything you need to do to become an unbreakable dad. This video is a little bit different. It is a deep dive on exactly how to lose 20 to 40 pounds. And I'm going to walk through a step-by-step case study with my client, Nick, exactly what he did, what his macros were, what his training was like, how he got him to diet down and then build some quality muscle on the back end. He built 5 pounds of muscle with zero fat gain in just 2 months. So I'm gonna lay it all out for you. You're really gonna enjoy this. Grab your notepad and your pen. I talk fast. You're gonna have to take notes fast. Let's dive into this case study. I'm very excited to go through this with you. So dads with high energy kids, probably anywhere between the ages of 2 years old and 18 years old, right? Lose at least 20 pounds plus of belly fat, put on lean muscle, and do it sustainably, most importantly, in 180 days using the FAST method, or you don't pay. And do this all without cutting carbs, without reeling back and putting the weight back on, without having to skip meals, and do it all in less than 5 hours a week. Now, before we get started on this case study, just to introduce myself, my name is Brian Scuderi. For those of you guys that don't know me, I've been working with men now on losing weight, getting into great shape, building sustainable energy, and really becoming the best version of themselves humanly possible for 5 years now. And I'm going to go through this case study with my client, Nick, here. He is a prime and perfect example of what can happen when you follow the FAST method to a T. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how my client, Nick, lost 27 pounds. And what he told me was he achieved this body. He hasn't looked this way, felt this good, or anything like that since he was in college. So just to show you, the first week, the picture on the left there, that's exactly what Nick looked like when he first got started. And then after following the FAST method, just under 180 days, he lost 27 pounds. And I think it's important to show the before and after, right? Because what I don't want you to think is like sometimes people see the picture on the right and they go, man, that guy's just got freak genetics. And it's just not the case. He definitely was not born with amazing genetics. He was 192 pounds on the left. And then after going through the FAST method, was down to 165 pounds. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how he did this. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how the FAST method works so you can implement it, so you can lose 20 to 40 pounds in the next 180 days or less. Now, who this is for, very simply, if you're looking to lose 20 to 40 pounds of belly fat or the love handles and keep it off sustainably while packing on some lean muscle tissue that you hold on to forever, this is for you. I always say there's no sense in progressing forward only to recess backwards, right? Like taking 3 steps forward and then walking backwards 3 steps. The total progress made in that case is 0. So if you're sick of yo-yoing and when it comes to look like you did, when it comes to looking like you did in high school and college, and need a simple, realistic, and proven method and blueprint, all specifically designed for busy as fuck fathers that you can fit into your lifestyle, this is for you. Look, cookie cutter programs, trying to dive into like the keto lifestyle and the vegan lifestyles, you're trying to fit into a program versus trying to make a program fit in with you. And so if you feel like you've done it all and still can't have the body that you wanted, this is definitely for you. If you're anything like me, I spent 5 years of my life yo-yoing from 190 pounds all the way back up to 225 pounds. And I did that by trying veganism. I tried keto. I tried intermittent fasting. I tried Whole30. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried literally everything. I bought the isogenics shakes. I did the fat loss teas. Like I was so desperate. I tried everything and I did it all and I still didn't have the body that I wanted. And if that's the case and you've done that too, then hey, this is for you as well. And deep down, if you know that you have more to give to your family, more to give to your career, whether that's your own business or whether that's just succeeding in another company, that you work for. And you know that you have much more deep down potential to turn into your highest and best self, to give more to your family, give more to your life, and just extract more out of it. But you also know that proper guidance and accountability is going to be how you get there the fastest. This is for you as well. Now, that's who this is for, but most importantly, who this is not for. So if you fit into any of these four, just go ahead and exit out of the video. It's a waste of time for you to watch this because the FAST method isn't going to work for you, and then you're just wasting your time. So who this is not for is dudes who are stuck in like the old school Arnold way of getting ripped. Like we're talking like people who think that if you don't chug raw eggs, you're not, going on miles and miles and miles of long runs, spending hours and hours in the gym, like the whole mythical thing of Arnold doing 3 sessions a day. Like if you think that you need to do 3 sessions of working out in one day to get ripped, that's not how this works. So the old school Arnold Schwarzenegger type 70s, 80s type bodybuilding, just go ahead and forget that, right? If you're looking to lose like record amounts of weight in unreasonable time frames, like 25 pounds in the next 4 weeks, and you want to starve yourself and just crash completely, and you don't want to use a repeatable, sustainable system that will keep you 15% body fat or less for the rest of your life, this is definitely not for you. And if you're not ready to commit to 5 hours a week in the gym or just exercise in general, then this isn't for you as well. If you're looking for 6-minute abs, 8-minute workouts, 10-minute workouts, like it's just not for you because look, on one end, you don't need to be there for 3 hours, 4 hours in a day, but also doing 8 minutes of exercise a day is not going to get you where you need to go. Frankly put, if you don't believe that there's more for you to become in this world, if you don't think that you can become a better version of yourself, a better father, a better husband, a better giver to the community, right? If you don't think you can become better in this world, then this program, the FAST method, the Unbreakable Dads community, it's just not for you. But let's talk about some truths here. Okay, getting to 15% body fat or less and being jacked, especially as a busy dad, I'm going to talk to you about what nobody talks about. Okay, everyone says that it's really, really hard and you got to do these extreme things. And nowadays, I can only imagine how confusing it is for people because, like, you got vegans saying that meat is killing you and it's killing the planet. And then you got vegans saying, or meat, carnivores like the Liver King saying like salad's killing you. And you got Paul Saladino saying that like there's phytonutrients in oatmeal that's killing you. Now oatmeal is the enemy. It's like there's so much information. There's so much confusion out there that chances are it's causing you to not take any action because you're so focused on doing the right way. Look, here's the thing. Here's the truth. I've done it over and over and over with hundreds of clients. This is how I live my life. I'm a dad. I'm busy as hell. Like you can absolutely be jacked, eat foods that you enjoy, have abs showing all year round, have big, broad shoulders and a nice quality chest that doesn't have man boobs without spending more than 5 hours a week in the gym. And you can do it in a way that's sustainable. You're not going to have to go to your mother-in-laws and say, hey, I don't eat pasta anymore, right? Like it's just not going to happen. You don't have to do extremist style diets. What you do have to do is find something that's sustainable. And the only reason that dads don't have sub 15% body fat and that they're not jacked is because they would rather follow what's popular. Like what's cool is keto. What's cool is carnivore. What's cool is 1 meal a day. What's cool is intermittent fasting because they sell you on the quick fix rather than just following a simple system that simply works. And so the simple system is easy. Simplify your nutrition. It takes quality, efficient exercise. Most guys are just wasting time in the gym for 90 minutes or in the gym for 10 minutes, right? It's just a waste of time. You need quality, efficient exercise. And then just use the FAST approach versus some quick fix shortcut approach like 1 meal a day. I mean, why only eat once? It's crazy to me. But don't worry, I'm not going to let that all happen to you. I'm not going to let you flounder, and I'm certainly not going to let you fall victim to these massive marketing schemes that are just slamming dads on the everyday basis. Let's go over some harsh truths. Here's the reality, gents. Okay, there's no such thing as not having enough time. And there's certainly no such thing that says, oh, that works for him. He's got great genetics, but it just won't work for me. In all reality, guys, you have just as much time as everybody else. You don't walk down the street and find 5 minutes. It's not a commodity. It's something that we all inherently have an equal amount of. And so it's just how you use that time properly and whether or not it's efficient and whether or not it's being used to do the right thing. And if you say, well, that works for him, but it won't work for me, why? We're all genetically within 0.00001% similarity. Like what works for Nick and what works for me and what works for my client Anthony and my client Heath and my client Mike and my client John. Like if it works for them, it absolutely works for anybody. The fact is you don't have to dedicate your life to fitness to be fit. Every single one of the guys in the Unbreakable Dads group is either working as an architect, we have carpenters, we have firemen, we have police officers. Like you don't have to be all in committed on fitness and become a CrossFit athlete because it's not about fitting into a program. It's about making the program fit in with you. And no matter what your buddy at the last town barbecue said, right? You don't need crazy good genetics. Everybody talks about, oh man, like that guy's just gifted. He's just got amazing genetics. It's like, yes, there are some genetic freaks out there for sure. But you do not need to have amazing genetics to look and feel amazing in your body and become the dad that you're meant to be. And that deep down, I know that you really want to be. And so if you want to become an unbreakable dad and unlock your greatest potential as a father, I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to avoid the pitfalls that 99% of men trip over in their journey to becoming jacked and ripped. And here's the reality. I fell for all of them. So I'm going to teach you how to navigate. I'm going to be your Sherpa through this. Now, also, I'm going to go through exactly how I helped my client Nick lose all of his unwanted belly fat, see his abs for the first time since he was in college. And now he says, I do yard work shirtless and I live for the beach days with his wife and kid. I'm also going to walk you through my system, my F.A.S.T system, that's going to allow you to lose 20 to 40 pounds in the next 180 days and keep it off. And the cool thing, even though it's fast, it's not fasting. So we don't skip meals. Now, how to get these amazing results while you eat food that you enjoy and by only spending 5 hours a week in the gym. Those are the parameters of the F.A.S.T method. Now, before I even dive into all the details, you might be thinking, who the heck is this guy? Why is he running a group called Unbreakable Dads? Well, going back about 7 years ago, I've been coaching in various capacities. I worked with a company, a direct sales company, where we had to hire, train, develop, recruit, and coach our own sales teams. And through that, I ended up becoming the number one sales team in the entire company. And this is a 9-figure sales company. And I learned very, very hands-on over the course of those 4-ish years, exactly how to coach people and to help them unlock their most amazing potential. Now, for the past 5 years, I've been solely focused on fitness, getting guys in shape and unlocking their greatest potential through their mindset. And I transitioned from direct sales right into fitness because I saw a need for it, right? I became really passionate about helping men and especially dads because I became a dad myself and I saw how much people would struggle after they became a dad. B, when I was at the top of the direct sales organization, I was in amazing shape and everybody would come and ask me and say, hey, how do you do it all? Man, I'm working these long hours. I got to go home and take care of the kids. Like, where do you find the time? How do you do it? And the reality was that when I would explain it to them, they would be mind blown that I literally spend less than 5 hours a week working out, yet I look like this. And so I became really passionate about helping these guys. And what I found was as I would help these other, what they were called district managers, as I would help them get their fitness in check and get their mind in check, well, all of a sudden their sales teams would start producing better. They'd be making more money. They'd be happier. They would tell me their relationships with their wives were improving. Their relationships with their kids were improving. And so I became absolutely obsessed with helping men build an unbreakable life through fitness and nutrition as a basis, because I truly believe that when you unlock fitness, nutrition, taking care of your body, building the discipline, right, it unlocks your deepest potential. And I also saw a need with dads because they were trying all these fads. Like everyone would come to me and be like, yeah, I'm keto. And they'd be keto this month. And then next month they do Weight Watchers. Then the next month they do intermittent fasting. And the next month they tried carnivore. And they would lose weight and gain weight, lose weight and gain weight. They would go through this yo-yoing process and it would leave them frustrated and defeated. Well, look, I've been working out, taking my health and fitness seriously for a very long time now. And the FAST method, my way of working out, my way of operating nutrition, and my way of doing everything allowed me to win third place in my very first bodybuilding competition. Here I am on the right. That was in the true novice division. And then in the novice division, which is one step above true novice, I ended up placing fourth. And so guys, like clearly what I do works and it literally wins awards. So that's what we're teaching. That's what I'm sharing with you. And if you follow it to a T, you can look great too. So the FAST method is the playbook for busy dads. Now I built this through my own 7 years of experience. I've implemented it with hundreds of my clients and I've gotten them amazing physique changes in just 180 days. And I did it all in a way where they still look like this. And now I've decided to unveil it to you too. I'm a firm believer that I just want to give away all the secrets because at the end of the day, right, if you implement this and you get great results, then I'm living my purpose regardless. So here it is. The following step by step is an outline of the FAST method, top to bottom, for what I did and what my clients currently do to accomplish amazing results. In this way, you can lose 20 to 40 pounds in 180 days and sustain it using the FAST method. So the FAST method is broken down into 4 phases, 4 different parts. Now there's 2 phases in here that everybody forgets about. And this is why so many transformation specialists and health and fitness coaches, their clients will work with them for 90 days, 120 days. They'll get absolutely shredded. They get their before and after picture and the coach says, see you later, have a good time. And then you talk to these people months later. I mean, half my clientele came from other coaches. They were like, I worked with this guy in the past. He got me really shredded. I loved his program, but it just wasn't sustainable. And I'm right back to where I was. And that's because most coaches forget the 2 most important parts. And I'm going to get to that and I'll point them out as we go through that. But most coaches just go through 2 phases. They'll just do like a fat loss phase and then they'll do like a muscle gaining phase. But the problem is that unless you operate within the parameters of natural science, unless you operate in the way that the body is designed, eventually the body just kind of freaks out. And then when you're going through the muscle phase, you start packing on fat and fat and fat and fat. This is why you've seen guys get really, really lean, even after like a bodybuilding show, and then they look like garbage a month later. I'm going to go through why. So the FAST method, it's not just a clever name. It is an acronym. It's in 4 phases: a foundations phase, an accelerate phase, a stasis phase, and a thrive phase. So the foundations phase is anywhere between 1 to 21 days. I usually will do no less than 14, but it's the first 21 days of somebody working with me. And what we do there is we actually rehydrate. Biggest thing that most guys are failing to do is stay hydrated. It's the number one thing that's harming men left, right, and center across America. What we're going to do is we're going to prime the body for fat loss. And the whole goal during the foundations phase is that we're losing anywhere between 0.5% and 1% of body fat per week for those first 3 weeks. Now, the reason for that is we're going to rehydrate, and that's going to help us shed some water weight. It's going to help us flush out our system, flush out our toxins and things like that. During this time, my clients do a lot of food awareness, meaning like, well, what foods have how much calories and how much macros. And it's a really cool learning process because my goal here is not just to tell you and give you a meal plan, which I do, but I don't want to give that right off the rip, because if I do that, then you don't actually learn anything, right? I want you to feel like you're learning something, because when you learn it, then you can repeat it over and over and over again. And once you can repeat it, it's sustainable. So we're going to go through a food awareness phase for the first 3 weeks. And then, of course, we're going to establish a baseline volume for working out. Some guys come in, they already are working out in the gym, 4 or 5 days a week. Some guys come to me and they have absolutely no experience. Some guys come to me and the last time they worked out was 10 years ago. So we're going to establish a baseline volume. And for my more advanced guys, that looks a little bit different than one of my clients came to me, he hasn't lifted anything in 10 years. So it's going to be a little bit different for that guy. Then we transition into the accelerate phase. This is 100 days long, and this is where we accelerate fat loss, and we're looking to lose 1 to 2% of our body weight per week. And this is where we start installing daily habits, making sure the morning routines are really solid, making sure that we're priming ourselves and our body and our minds to not only lose fat and get in great shape, but also to show up great at home and show up great at work. We typically slowly increase volume at gym, not in time, but in intensity. And then I find creative ways with my clients to decrease food through what's called volume style eating, where you actually eat a lot of food, but because it's not calorie dense, it is a lot of food, but it's not a lot of calories and macros. So it makes losing fat really, really easy, really, really fun. And we mitigate hunger all across the board. I'll tell you, my clients, those first 30 to 60 days, it's almost inevitable that a client will tell me that they feel like they're eating too much food. Yet, week over week, we're losing anywhere between 0.5% and 2% of our body weight per week. Now, the last two phases, after we go through the accelerate phase, there's one called the stasis phase. This is the one that everybody forgets. All these transformation coaches, everybody else in the industry, they'll go and they'll get you diced, they'll get you cut, they'll slam your calories, you will crash, you'll be exhausted. And then as soon as you get to a body fat percentage where you look really, really good in the picture and they know that they can use it for marketing, what do? They say, hey man, we'll see you later. Good job, you were with me for 12 weeks. But the problem is that if you do not teach the body that this is the new normal, that this body fat percentage is your new normal, then inevitably your body just wants to put all the weight back on, because it thinks that your body at the beginning of the 12 weeks was the actual normal. So it just is fighting you to get back there the entire time. So what I do with all my clients is I do a 2 to 3 week, depending on how dramatic the transition was, where we teach the body the new normal, and we stay at that super lean body fat percentage for like 2 to 3 weeks. Guys love this stage because their veins are popping, their forearms are going, they feel absolutely amazing. And what this also does, this changes your self-image, because not only when you look good, but when you can hold on to it for days and weeks, it teaches your mind like, okay, this is legit. Like this is my new normal. And this puts your body, it primes it for muscle growth at the new body fat percentage. You always want to build muscle at a low body fat percentage. You do not want to build muscle at a high body fat percentage, because you will just inevitably get fat. Once the body has a lot of fat holding on to it, or it's holding on to a lot of fat, when you increase calories for muscle growth, it's just going to want to convert it all to fat. It's an inevitability. Number 4 is the thrive phase. This is where we pack on lean muscle. We gain 0.5 pounds, so about 2 to 3 pounds per month for 2 to 3 months of 100% muscle tissue. I'm talking no fat gain. You look at that picture of Nick, we'll go back to it. Like, look at this picture of Nick and tell me that he put on any sort of fat when we put on muscle. We got all the way down to 160 pounds, but he put on an additional 5 pounds of just lean muscle tissue during the thrive phase. We increase food purposefully and very strategically. We increase our intensity at the gym, so we start lifting higher weights, and then we just use lower volumes. That way we're stimulating a ton of muscle growth. And the goal here is that we start setting PRs on all exercises. Okay, now each phase is predicated off of 3 principles: exercise, nutrition, and routine. Now, this is how we implemented the FAST method into Nick's already hectic life. He runs his own real estate company. He's got a little kid. He's got a wife. He's got friends. He's got family. Like, he's an Italian. He sees his his buddies and his family all the time. Like, it's not like Nick was sitting around with 4 hours a day that he could just go dedicate to the gym. So we're going to cover exercise, nutrition, and routine through the 3 phases. Really quickly, just to define it, exercise is like what weightlifting looked like. What did his cardio look like? What's his RPE, or rate of perceived exertion? This is intensity, right? Like how heavy was the weight? Was he training using tempo and actually controlling the descent on the weight? I would have certain exercises where, he would have to not just press it as fast as humanly possible, but press it over the course, and each rep was 4 seconds long, and that just stimulates crazy muscle growth. And then, of course, building the skill of working out, because form is super important when it comes to putting on muscle. His nutrition, we went through macros, and I'm going to actually go through his specific macros here. Macros are the only way to guarantee that you get the body composition that you want. I gave him grocery lists, exactly what foods to buy. I gave him quick meal prep options, like things that he could whip up in 5 minutes, things that he could whip up on a Sunday and make a week's worth of food in an hour and a half. And then, of course, I gave him on-the-go choices, because he was constantly running around doing appointments. Like, he had places to be. So I had to give him options at like every single fast food restaurant of like, okay, well, if you don't have a meal on you and you need to eat here, like, this is what you get, because this will hit your macros. And then, of course, we implemented the morning routine, waking up earlier, creating more time in the day, and then priming our mind for the day ahead, because this is just as much a mental transformation as it is a physical transformation. So his foundations phase, his training, we just focused on settling in a routine. We rehydrated. We got to 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons per day. Most guys are drinking anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 gallon per day. Get up to 1 gallon, get up to 1.5 gallons. It's game-changing for your energy. We focused on higher volume and lighter weights to stimulate muscle retention during the foundations phase. I just wanted to get his muscles as dense as humanly possible. And of course, we followed the foundations outline. We just did straight sets, and we started doing timed rest periods. If you're, so many guys are flipping through their phone or scrolling through Instagram when they're going, at the gym, and it's just not going to be like, you need timed rest breaks. This is usually a game changer for my clients. They're like, oh yeah, like I need a timed rest period. And they realize that they can get more work done in less time because you're not just sitting there floating in between your sets. His foundations, we just started to focus on like tracking food and following maintenance calories, okay, and maintenance macros. Like, he had, for the most part, absolutely no hunger. We kept variables to an absolute minimum, and we just focused on consistency even through the weekends, just to prime the body for fat loss. When you eat similarly and you hit the same macros and the same calories, what ends up happening is your body just gets really used to the food. And then it's very easy that as we lower the macros, lower the calories, as we transition into the accelerate phase, things just speed up. That's why I call it the accelerate phase, because as you begin to accelerate, you only accelerate faster as the weeks go on. So his macros at this time were 170 grams of protein, 50 grams of fat, and 250 grams of carbs. Now, let's jump to the accelerate phase. This is where things got interesting. So this picture on the right here was exactly what he looked like coming out of the accelerate phase. His training during the accelerate phase was, I started really just keeping higher reps and higher volume. So he was operating in like the 10 to 25 rep range. But we would also start with, we started implementing small bouts of cardio, not 45 minutes on a Stairmaster like a bodybuilder, but 10-minute walks here and there, bike rides with the family on the weekends, going and playing golf with his buddies like once a week. And then in his training blocks, we would slowly increase reps, and we got all the way up to 25 reps for sets. And his volume was slowly increasing. That way we were retaining as much muscle as humanly possible. While simultaneously increasing output, we slightly lowered macros over time to match his metabolism. So as you lose weight, you actually your metabolism starts to slow down. So over time, training his body to shed fat fast while holding on to all of the muscle and priming for muscle growth through the future phases. His bottom end macros that got him the abs, those last couple weeks of the accelerate phase were 180 grams of protein, 45 grams of fat, and 150 grams of carbs. Now, this is specific to Nick. I don't know what you look like. I wouldn't just copy and paste this. His stasis phase, the third phase, we stayed there for 2 weeks. Okay. And this is really cool. We actually trained his body and mind to think that this was the new normal. That's why I call it the stasis phase. It's a new homeostasis. And what this also does is this achieves like a sponge-like state, and it's perfect priming for maximum muscle growth because your body is craving to grow again. It's craving to feel fueled and like ideal. So we just stuck right at those same macros. And what's really cool is as we transition into the thrive phase on the next slide here, you're going to see like he actually lost fat even more. Like he put on muscle, he gained weight, he gained another 5-6 pounds ish, but he did it with no fat gain and his composition got radically better. So check this out. The thrive phase, this was days 134 all the way up to 180. We just started maxing out the 8 to 12 rep ranges with intensity, like lower overall volume, right? But much higher intensity, much higher weight. We incrementally increased his macros to take advantage of his prime state for new muscle growth. I mean, look at how much better his abs look, how much more squared off his chest is, right? And his top end macros that he sits at right now, 200 grams of protein, 55 grams of fat, and 270 grams of carbs. And this obviously moves your body into homeostasis at this level with this body fat percentage at a healthier and heavier weight. What's really cool is once you go through a transformation like this, guys, you can start having 2 to 3 fun cheat meals per week. So he enjoys pizza Fridays. He goes out with his wife and kids on the weekends. We incorporated a couple refeed days and fun cheat meals, like at least one-ish per week during his accelerate phase as well. But now he can have 2 to 3, and he feels like he has ultimate freedom. What we focus on during the thrive phase in terms of training is quality movement selection. We focus on form, we focus on compound movements, and we do minimal reduction in cardio. So we just do the absolute necessity to maintain quality cardio, quality heart health, because cardio is one of the largest indicators of longevity in this life. And we want to be around till our kids graduate and our grandkids graduate, right? So we got to be taking care of our heart just as much as our muscles. So guys, that's Nick's transition through the 4 phases. And the FAST method is really designed to effortlessly and sustainably melt body fat in your gut and love handles and regrow muscle to fill out your physique in 180 days or less. Now with Nick, he loved the results so much and how he felt looking in the mirror every morning that he just never stopped. And for him, being able to have amazing energy and bring home after work and the confidence at the beach or swim lessons with his son, Nick, was worth the journey and then some. And these changes inevitably become the sustainable foundation that dads use to keep their physique for the rest of their life. So now that you know exactly how the FAST method works, I do have an offer for you. So look, if you're a dad with unwanted belly fat after years of packing it on, maybe you got a desk job and it just started adding on over and over and over again. If you're a father of young kids and you want to be able to keep up with them in the backyard, or you're a new or expecting dad who wants to get a head start on the newborn phase, and you're looking to give more than just the crumbs of your energy to your family after work, build a body that keeps you present while you're on vacation. Like you're not worried about keeping the shirt on or how you look at the beach, right? Like those thoughts don't even come up so you can stay fully engaged with your family. Maybe you're looking to get to sub 15% body fat and look great with your shirt off just in general, maybe for the first time since you were in college, and have the healthiest and strongest body you've ever had. Look, I will personally help you lose 20 to 40 pounds in a sustainable way and grow 4 to 8 pounds of lean muscle mass in the next 180 days or less using the FAST method. And straight up, I will refund you if it doesn't work. Now, I put that guarantee in writing. So if after 180 days, you do not absolutely love the way that you look and you do not have any of the things that we agreed upon here on this page, I will refund you. That's how confident I am in the FAST method. And so if you're watching this and you're like, damn, man, that's exactly what I need. I finally have found it, that the only sustainable way in the market to actually get the results that I've been dreaming of. If that's you, then what you can do is in the description below this video, you can go ahead and click on a link in there. It'll bring you to the application. It'll set you up with the time to get on my calendar, and we can book a phone call where I'll dive deep with you on your goals. I'll find out where you're at, where you want to be, and then it's just a matter of what are the obstacles in your way. And I've never had a call where the FAST method wasn't exactly what somebody was looking for, because everything else on the market is extreme. Everything else on the market is crazy. Everything else on the market requires you to change your lifestyle. Where the FAST method, it's moldable, it's bendable, and it just injects right into your lifestyle. And so you can get amazing results too. So if you're looking for more information, if you're looking like, hey, this might be what you've been wanting now for the past 10 years, then go ahead to the description of this video, click on that link, schedule your call today. Appreciate your time. And that's that, guys. I decided to step outside after staring at my computer a little bit and get some sun. But that's that. If you guys like what you heard, if you want to try out the FAST method for yourself, or at least just get a little bit more information on it, go ahead down into the description, click the link. You can apply to be a part of Unbreakable Dads, schedule an application call where we'll dive into exactly how to install the FAST method into your life. Click the link below if you want more information. See you later.